Hello everybody, and once again, just like last week, I have the wrong monitor being recorded. Let me fix that. There we go. All right, so hello, what's up, Finn? You can say hi in the chat. I have it up here. So yes, we'll be doing a special edition of our live UI UX. I'll get to the details here in a couple minutes when people filter through. Dingus, I think that's my favorite username. Deb Joy, Steven, what's up? I can't pronounce that. Someone with the black avatar, hello. Cord Funk, get back to work. I'm kidding. He's been working like tirelessly on the Fretastic app, the app we've been working on big time. Stephanie, what's up? Johnny, Ahmed. I'm just gonna call you Sahib. Oh man, I suck. All right, we're gonna let a few more people get in here before we begin. We have a rapid fire show coming up. An insane amount of work. What are you doing? I don't know. What are you doing? All right. So first things first, before we begin, this show, along with next week's show as well, is sponsored by TLD, and this is a new .design domain. All right. So basically, using the .design domain name for your website or portfolio, it reflects what you do as a designer and helps give you ultimately better branding. All right. Unlike .com and .net, design is more relevant and resonates with your audience, especially if you have like a design portfolio. And it also comes with a free design domain comes with email hosting, free email hosting, SSL security, a free site builder, which I hope you're not using if you're a designer, and a free Whois privacy. All right, very awesome stuff. Major brands like Facebook, Airbnb, Adobe, and Amazon are actually using .design. So check out the link, top link in the description. And let's get to today's main point. All right, so we're not doing the regular live UI UX show where you guys submit your stuff in the Discord server and I check it out. I might actually do a little bit of that at the end so you can still submit just in case if we have time. So what I'm doing instead is a few days ago I did a Figma design tutorial where I created an app prototype. Actually, let me get out, well, what am I doing? Let me go to figma.com. and let me find, there we go. This is the design that I did. Actually, that's not mine. One sec, that's somebody else's. I'm trying to move it, but I don't have ability to edit it. But this is the one right here that I did, this one. And so I told people as a fun contest, show me the page where, it'll show up like for an actual artist page if you click on this link or this link or this link or this link and so on and so forth. So we got like 50 entries. People submitted it via Twitter. So we have 50 Figma entries that I'm going to very quickly run through as fast as possible. I'm going to try to get them all done within an hour. And we'll see how fast I can get through these. I stupidly didn't have anybody specify like a hashtag so I can filter through these, so I'm gonna have to just like filter through all the other crap that's going on in my notification section. All right, so we're gonna get started. Yeah, we're gonna get started with the very first one I received back on March 3rd, a few days ago, 3 days ago. So what's really cool about this Twitter, it has like this embed, like so I can just, in order to see the Twitter design or the actual design, I can click, no, not this. I can, well, this one I can't. Some of them, most of them have embeds, but let's check this on out real quickly. So you click on it, and this is their entry. So like there were some requirements, like you have to have the artist title, the actual album name, and then the tracks, and each track had to have a title and all that stuff. So I like this. I like the icon use. It's solid, but it is lacking color. That's the one thing I thought it was probably lacking. It was lacking color. Oh, I see. If like you click this one, okay, it has this little play button. Yeah, very good though in terms of all the other UI design fundamentals are there. All right, next up, if I go back, is this one. Here's like this cool embed. You just click this, and there we go. It's right up here. So this one, looking at it, I would say that this element right here is kind of harsh. The gradient, it is too much contrast. Your eye's drawn to the background instead of the content in the foreground. So I think you could still do this same sort of thing as long as you took like this gray element and maybe made it that shade so that it's much more of an afterthought. There's not as much contrast. Other than that, pretty solid. A little bit bland with just having a picture and like up here and nothing else over it. Some of the other entries tackled that a different way. But yeah, pretty good either way. What happened? Oh. Did it seriously just take me all the way back? I'm going to kill somebody. All right, let's see if I could find my place again. This might be a nightmare, everybody. Yeah, there we go. So next one up is, there's a bunch of people talking about my Scrimba course, which I think will be released the 16th or the 17th, for those of you who are wondering. Here is one. I'm going to click on this, and then that. Okay, so it's Sam Milton. Let's check this one out. So he did like a bunch of prototypes here, but they're all just like the same thing essentially. You didn't have to do that, by the way. Now let's check out this example. Ooh, that's kind of weird. Let me, there we go. So this is the page right here. The one thing I don't like is the big play button, and there's not enough contrast. Like this would be better if this were like this darker color, like the actual play icon in the center. Outside of that, I like the design of each one of these. Of the actual tracks. You got the color in here, and this does look like it would be, you know, a seamless transition. It's like the same user interface. That's done pretty well. One thing that I'm wondering though is if the actual track length, how that would look if there were longer track lengths. Would it wrap, or would it just do like 3 dots? Either way, this is pretty solid what we have here. I think what I'll also do is save a document of some of the ones that I think are the best, and maybe I'll choose like the ultimate best at the end. So maybe I will copy this tweet URL. There, all right, there we go. All right. So next up, so that was Sam. Josh is next. Let's check this one out. I don't want to do it that way. We're going to click on this and then maximize it. All right. So this one is a little bit strange to me because I'm not sure where to look at first, simply because, you know, if you click on one of these elements, it takes you to this page, presumably, and it says the artist and then like a big section for the album. So these two are given like equal importance because they take up the same amount of space in the UI, and they're essentially designed the same. So I think there's an issue with, you know, establishing a good visual hierarchy between these two. And then the tracks are all the way down at the bottom. So you definitely want to rethink that with how you approach that. In terms of colors and everything, it pretty matches up though. Next up is going to be, so that was Josh. We got Nick. And like I said, this is rapid fire. I'm going as fast as I can because I want to get to everybody's, because they did spend time on this, so I want to spend a little bit of time on them. All right. Next up, let's see here. This is a nice one because this one gives us a way to actually go back with the back button. We have the title, album name. We can favorite this artist. We have a playhead progress here. I like the icons here, designating more information. Yeah, this is nice. I like the way that it's laid out. This all works. I have no problem with this. There's also, you know, an additional section of content down there. I like this one. So I think right now we'll go ahead and save that tweet address, and we'll continue on. All right. So that was Nick. Okay, here's O'Neill. Let's expand that. All right. So one thing, by the way, I probably checked out the first like 8 of these, and I haven't seen any of them up until this point in time. So this is just my initial impression. It's a little strange having a blank area right here, especially when you had featured artists and then it's just blank. There's a lot of empty space, so you definitely want to fix that. The shuffle tracks button being this green, it kind of doesn't really contrast well, work well with this type of teal color that we have here. Plus, it's hard to read shuffle tracks, so there's not enough contrast. I like this section here. You've done these pretty well. I'm thinking probably some of you saw other submissions and I think there's some people are borrowing. I'm not saying that's in the case. That was just a random thought in here, but yeah, pretty solid. But there's still a couple issues with it. Thank you for the submission. No, okay, that was O'Neill. Next up is Andre. Couple of iterations, no prototyping, plain track on the bottom sheet. And in case of another featured artist, increase peak height and showcase their songs. Okay, let's just hit play. All right, so this one's actually proto. Wait, what happened here? Hold on. I'm not sure what is happening here. Now playing. Yeah, what's the problem here is I'm not sure where to look. And it also doesn't seem like it would be consistent with the same aesthetic of the first UI screen. And so we have like this play area. This must be a track. Yeah, it says tracks here, but it almost looks like a conversation. It looks like somebody's talking like in a chat app. So I would definitely restructure this and try to make it a little bit more familiar in terms of patterns. I'm not saying copy like what everybody's doing, but there are patterns for a reason, I think. Thank you for that, though. Let's see here. Let's go back. That was Andre. Let's continue. Who is a Sammy? All right. Fed up viewing the same dark theme, so I changed it to a light version. All right, sweet. Let's check it out then. Here's a light version. All right. Let me zoom up. All right, so this is the light version of my design, and it works pretty well. All right, so these are all the same design, just different artists. I'm not sure why the header isn't there on these ones. I'm not sure if these are prototyped or something and just lacking the header. Obviously, that's an issue if that was the intention, but if it wasn't, I understand. Looking at this, there's not enough visual hierarchy separation between the actual artist and then the name, and then these things. So they're kind of cluttered together. So you want to separate those visually in some manner. Looking at this, the play button is probably a little bit too big inside of this container, so you definitely want to fix that. Not enough white space in this area. But yeah, thanks for just taking the different approach in terms of being light versus dark. That was Sammy, who was up next. Next is Debjoy. All right, let's check this one out. All right, so looking at this first glance, I'm not sure about having the released on March 3rd, 2020 being so prominent there, because that's, in terms of your information architecture, it's not important, as important as, for instance, the name, the artist name or the album name. So you might want to rethink that. Looking at the track section, seems a little bit big, like your individual elements possibly. It would be nice to have like where it says 236 to maybe have like a little time icon. But yeah, other than that, for the most part, it looks like it's similar. But again, like my elements are a lot smaller, and then when you transition to this screen, everything is just like enlarged a lot. So that's one issue in terms of keeping the design consistent appearance-wise. Next up, Debjoy, Mikkel. All right, let's do this one. If it will load, maybe I'll have to go specifically to the Figma file if I can. It's not loading. Let's try that one. Here we go. Hopefully this will load, and I'm not going to get spammed with, oh my God. He probably would have been really mad if I gave up. Look at all of this work. Now, is this an actual prototype that I can play? Let's see here. There's a lot happening here. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's, where can we click? We can click, he's got a, oh, this was supposed to be a menu, but he used it as like a dark light mode change. Interesting. Let's click on this. All right, so this is the main page that was in question. I'm not sure what it changed for some reason, but looking at this. All right, so the controls are quite big, especially if we compare it to the original design that I had. There is a lot happening here, though. Let me go back. How can I can't go back now. Oh, no. Can I like use my keyboard? Yeah, I can. Okay. So looking at this, there's an issue with your alignment here. You notice there's an unnecessary amount of space at the bottom of the name, but you have hardly any at the top. Icons are too big in terms of keeping it consistent with the original design. But yeah, a lot of work obviously went into this. So definitely thanks for participating. Awesome, awesome stuff. Okay, let's continue on. Next up will be, that was Mikhail. We have right here. Let's check this out. I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start going through these even faster just to get done in time. All right. It looks like I can't play prototypes in this little embed thing in Reddit, so some of these I'm going to have to click up and hit play. All right. All right, so I have no clue what happened here. It looks like he changed up my original design. And there's just a play button up here. Like, what are you going to play? Like, how's that going to work? So it's just going to play just some random song, but you're not sure who you're going to play. So that's kind of an issue. Here's the main page. We have definitely an issue. Unnecessary amount of white space over here. Over here, it doesn't look like there's that much because you have this little, you know, the little menu icons. And then there's not enough white space inside of the containers. So yeah, definitely stuff that you have to work on. You'd be a great candidate for my upcoming Scrimba course, by the way. All right, thank you for the submission, though. Okay, continuing on. That was Malt. That was. Who is it up next? Right here. Check this out. Okay, let's do it. Might as well just open this up here. I don't know why. Like, I'm not sure if you can or people aren't just doing it, just linking me straight to the prototype page, so I don't have to click play. But whatever. All right, here's the original. We'll click this. Oh, I like the little animation. We got our first animation, so that's cool. Looking at this, Ed Sheeran. All right, play. We got to pause down here, see if there's anything else. Just go back. But yeah, yeah, pretty cool. We have a play button here. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty solid. I'm not sure about this bar down here. It's taking up quite a bit of space. Probably could have reduced that a little bit. But either way, good stuff. All right, let's continue on. That was Mohan or Mahan, or however you pronounce that. We'll do this one. Why can't I like right click this and just open it up? Oh well. We can do it this way. Why are people changing my colors? I want to know why. All right. Okay, so the issue here is you're not giving enough importance to the actual artist. It's kind of just crammed up here with a tiny little space. And we see in terms of patterns, more people, more companies are kind of using this available space to like have like a full splash image of like the album or the artist or whatever. Having this tiny little thing right here doesn't really do it justice, in my opinion. So looking at these tracks, again, you're just really not sure where you should look first. So that's an issue with visual hierarchy. Thank you for the submission, though. We're going to continue on and try to get through these as fast as humanly possible. I would like to show you my prototype app. All righty. Let's click on this, and then we'll click on this, and then finally we'll be able to open this. We're already at 20 minutes. I can't believe that. Let me hit play. God, there's so much clicking around just to get to these. All right. Let me go back. So he's using the colors pretty well. We got a decent sized album title here. It's simple. I'm not sure why it says Kaylee. Oh, right there. Yeah, it already says the title name, so I would change that. Get rid of that because it's just unnecessary. But for the most part, this is pretty solid. Although each track doesn't have a thumb. Like, why would each track have a thumbnail? I'm trying to think if that's really a thing. So otherwise, it's just repetitive. But yeah, pretty solid otherwise. Good white space, same colors. Thank you for submitting that. Go back. That was Philippe, if that's how it's pronounced. It has 2 animations, 1 on the album. All right, let's check this one out. I'm really wondering if I can get through all these. Oh, well, I'm going to get through all no matter what. Oh, we got an animation here. So you click on here. It slides up. This should be spaced out a little bit differently. You probably could have also put in a 2-column approach because you have empty space here and just designated this a little bit different. Outside of that, here we have like a play button. Yeah, pretty solid otherwise. I think there just needs to be a little bit more structure in the UI here. That's cool. So there's another animation down here. Yeah, I like the animations at least. Very cool. This is pretty solid. All right, next up is, let's see, who was that? Oh, that was JC. All right, Faco 5, or I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. Let's do this one. Let's just hit play. I can't read all that. I don't have enough time, unfortunately. Let's click here. Oh, and some more animations. I like it. Probably want a back button, though. All right, so that's a pretty cool animation. Looking at this, me and your ghost, shuffle. Play button should be a little bit larger, or it should demand more attention from the eye as opposed to these 2 elements because the play button is a little bit more important. I would probably take a play button, put it to the left over here, and then just have those 2 to the right. But, you know, still pretty solid. It looks like it would be a part of the same user interface. You probably want a back button as well, like I mentioned, like an easy way to go back instead of just having people click up top. But yeah, I like the animations. Very cool. Continue on. All right, so here's the next one. This is from Prakar. If that's how you pronounce your name, probably not. And let's click on it. All right, let's go back here. That was Prakar. Next person will be this person. All right, so clicking on this. All right, again, lacking a back button. The white shuffle play, I'm not too sure about that. It's pretty big, and it's just a shuffle, so you don't really want to have a massive call to action for that purpose. Looking at these, though, I probably want to... You have more space. You have way too much white space here on the sides because the device is small already, and so you definitely want to maximize more of that. You don't want it right against the edge, but you definitely want to, you know, utilize more of the room that you have available. Not enough white space where it says playing from album and then it says famous for. It's like right against each other. So just a quick couple notes there. Next up is this individual. Let's click on that. All right. Ooh, okay. So I like that. It's a very quick animation, and it's feels pretty seamless. All right. So me and your ghost, Moneybag Yo. We got our album title here. This is pretty nice. This row of icons, shuffle, play, pause, playing down here. We have nice scroll, by the way. Yeah, I like this. This is solid. I'm gonna save this one. I'm going to save this tweet here. So I have 3 so far that are saved that are pretty good. All right, thank you for that one. Next up, let's check this one out. Let's hit play. We've got quite a bit happening here. They've even integrated a menu. All right, let's check out the menu. The white icon, kind of hard to see. Probably want to keep that black. Let's click on this one. All right, simple animation. Not too sure about the gradient though, and also the drop shadow on top of that. Probably would change that up and probably fill this out more. Looking at this, oh, the play icons, you can't even see the little play because you have, it's also in a border that's, you know, this teal color. Completely rework that icon. Just make it one color. Don't try to go crazy with borders and you know, and strokes and all that stuff and different colors. Try to keep it as simple as possible. I like how you've done that. This one looks much better, the currently active one. But yeah, pretty solid otherwise. Thank you. Let's continue on. Let me get rid of that one. So let's go back. That was Jacob. Benjamin. All right. I'm trying to move through these so fast. Let's open that up. We are at 26 minutes. How is this going by so fast? All right. Hit play. All right. Moneybag Yo. All right. So we got another animation, at least. That's good. All right, so you have an issue with hierarchy between these two elements where it says, and it's all right, buy low, baby. Like they almost look like, I know this is slightly smaller, but it's not smaller enough. So you definitely want to fix that up a bit. Not a lot of space between where it says 21 tracks and the length and the date. And so it's kind of crammed together. You want to push things out more. Too much space between this element here where it has the time and also the track title. So you want to bring those together. And that way you get more white space on the outside. But yeah, pretty good either way. Thank you for the submission. All right, next up is, let's go back. This one, I hope I don't by accident skip anybody. If that happens, I'm sorry. All right, so let's click on this. What's happening? So this just brings up a play thing. What's happening? Oh, there it goes. All right, so we do have a back button. It's a little bit too close to the album, so I think that probably would need to change because it gets a little bit cluttered right here. I can't believe this title. Okay, the play and randomize buttons, they have equal importance the way you styled them. So you would want to make this less important because randomize is just a boring, it's not as important as the actual play. So you'd want to change that. Hit play here, this shows up. Pretty cool. This part's pretty decent down here, each track listing. Let's continue. Here. Let's hit play and then right click open. You're supposed to drag the albums. Well, I'm sorry. I guess I'll do that from now on. Okay. All right, that's a kind of a quick animation here, which is fine with me. Yeah, I kind of like how it goes full screen like this. I'm not sure about, yeah, that's fine in my opinion. Who is messaging me? All right. The play button kind of gets lost here. So you'd want to have, I know you have like a little bit of a subtle drop down shadow, but I probably want to work that in even more as a way to separate it. Where it says the track, the artist and the album name and all that and the date, that's real squished together. So you're going to want to extend those out somehow a little bit differently. This part where you're listing them out, very simple. That works. Scrolling down here, this is also cool. Yep, pretty solid. Thank you for that. Jonathan, here's one here. Let's check this out. Open a new tab so that if it's a prototype, we can actually play it. All right, so this one, no animation, that's fine. It wasn't a requirement. It's nice to have. I would say that this right here takes up probably too much space. It's taking up like 50 to 60% of the width, or the height rather, and it's kind of pushing these down. There's no label on here either with other information. But But still, nonetheless, for what it is and what is here, it is designed pretty well. I wouldn't put length next to the thing there. I would put an icon, like a time icon instead, because that's just redundant where it says length. All right, next up. That was Jonathan. All right, next up is here. It's at play, open. Hopefully it goes straight to the prototype play URL. And it didn't. Okay. All right, so I think there was a simple animation here, although I have no way to go back. I just use my key. No, there was no animation. Okay, that's fine though. Looking at this, we have a heart down here. It kind of fades down. That's kind of nice. Although this, you can't see the logo anymore, so that's an issue. Album. See, one problem with this is if you have 4 columns essentially with this play button, if the album is like more than 1 or 2, 3 words, you're not going to have enough space. So this isn't actually going to work out well in terms of laying it out. But looking at the rest of this, the play button, I'm not a fan of that aesthetic because I wasn't using any type of gradients in the first design, so it wouldn't be consistent. This part's okay, but again, lacks kind of that primary color I was looking for. All right, thank you for that. We're going to continue on after because it is halfway point in the show. It is already at 31 minutes. That's gone really fast. I've been talking like freaking Roadrunner. We're going to go ahead and take a look at 1 second. Can't believe I closed that window. Pork, there we go. The sponsor, that's right. So the sponsor of this live stream, along with future live streams, or at least the next one, unless they choose to renew or not, is TLD, and they're using they're basically the new, relatively new .design domain name. So using the .design domain name for your website or portfolio, especially if you're a designer, completely makes sense. Unlike .com, .net, .design is more relevant, and it definitely resonates with your audience more, especially if again, if you have a design-based business, it makes sense. The free .design domain name of your choice comes with free email hosting, SSL security, free site builder, free Whois privacy, which is freaking awesome. A lot of time you have to pay for that, especially the Whois privacy. And then, of course, major brands like Facebook, Airbnb, and Adobe are already using them. So definitely support this sponsor because they're supporting me, and because it also makes sense if you're a designer to get a .design domain name. Awesome stuff. Let's continue on. So let's go back. That was, I can't pronounce his name. Here's the next person. Again, none of these I've checked out because I just haven't had time. So this is the first time I'm looking at a lot of these. Issue here because we cannot see the artist name. The love and the play button, the like button, it shouldn't be of equal importance. Just to favorite something isn't as important as being able to play. So you got to change that up a little bit. Is there anything else we can click? Okay. I like the animation. That's cool. I'm not sure about having this multi-layered background here. Plus, what is that back there? I see this kind of like album title or something. But yeah, otherwise solid area down here pretty much. Let's continue on so I can get through all of these. All right, next up, let's click this. He's pasting in HTML. All right. Oh, we got like a pink background, something different, right? Here's the main one. All right, we click it. All right, so the animation there needs worked on because it took a little bit too much time. So I definitely want to speed that up because you don't want to keep people waiting too much. Looking at this, this just takes me to the same page, unfortunately. Going back, though, doesn't. Looking at this, yeah, again, the area where it has this part and this part and this part a little bit too unstructured, kind of just thrown together. So you want to separate those. I don't know why you're using two different colors. We have a real vibrant teal color, but then you have my original color here between some of them, and that doesn't make sense to me. Otherwise, pretty solid. Thanks for the submission. Let's continue up next. Somebody sent in a super chat, even though my description says no super chats. I'm going to review them all. Thank you, though, for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So let's continue on. This is going to be the next person. All right, let's hit play. All right. So issue here is there's a lot. I hate saying it so much. I hate saying visual hierarchy, but I mean that's a major problem with a lot of designs, and it is here as well. Like down here with the track listings, everything's designed very similar. You have four, like saying track 1, track 2, track 3. No, you don't have to do that. That's taking up valuable space in a limited area on a mobile device. So you want to get rid of that. That way you designate more room for the actual title, so you don't have to put them like this in multiple areas. The length, these are all styled exactly the same. Some should be less contrast. Some could be bold to establish that hierarchy. So definitely take my course coming up soon. All right. Next up is this person. Let's go back. After him, this person will be next. Hit play. Boy, this must be maybe Figma was just being slow. All right, looking here. Again, it's a little strange to me that each track would have a thumbnail associated with it. Is that a thing? Like, does like Spotify or anything, do they have like actual pictures next to individual tracks from an album page? I'm not sure. I don't like the space in between the title here and then the minutes or the track duration. There's just too much space in between, which means not enough white space above and below in the container. So move those together, and I think it would be a much better approach. Other than that, pretty much the same colors were used. A darker background though, so you're going from this background and then it changes the background color in you. I wouldn't do that. All right, next up. Hopefully that's not the person I just checked out. Oh, okay, so I guess, all right, so I guess you can have that. All right. Okay, that was a little bit of a strange. Yeah, it looked almost glitchy in terms of the animation. You want it to be a little bit more fluid. Looking at this though, all right, 2019, 11 songs, got a big play button here. Yeah, this isn't too bad, although I'm not a fan of the alternate coloring of the rows here. That used to be real popular back in the day, but I think it just adds unnecessary distraction. So if you want to keep things more simple, I would probably advise against doing that sort of thing. Other than that, this is pretty solid. All right, thank you for that. Next up, breezing through these. Right click open. We are at 38 minutes. All right, let's hit play here. Justin Bieber, look at him. He's looking so emotional. Let's click it. All right, so in and of itself, this design looks pretty solid. I like the unique take on here. It's definitely probably one of the most interesting ways to lay this information out. But I'm not sure if it really matches too much, because the background color is quite different than the initial one. But I like all the other design fundamentals here, like the white space is all solid. Up here, I'm not sure about having two columns on a small device width, because if they're of a longer name or the album title is longer, it's going to really take up quite a bit of space. So I probably would have extended it out all the way, the album, and then like maybe put that information inside and centered it. Other than that, this is pretty solid though. Very nice. Let's continue on. All right. Look at myself. Here's another one. Next up, let's hit play. Or not play, but what am I talking about? Let's hit the album name. There we go. So a simple transition over here. Tiny text, real tiny, a little bit too small probably for my preferences. It says 10 tracks here. The play icon. Yeah, this is pretty solid. It's basic. Very large length or track duration though. It's even bigger than the name of the track and the artist. I would change that up a bit because this just seems too unnecessarily large. But yeah, other than that, pretty solid. Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's not horrible. Let's continue on. That was Ahmed. Figma designs linked with data with no code. Oh, so this should be an interesting one. Let's hit, wait. Where is it at? You're confusing me. Oh, I thought that was a submission. It's not. Okay. I'm an idiot. Coming up next, bravo. This was because of yesterday's video. All right. Here's the one. Let's hit play. Open. What are we gonna see? I like how his face just like enlarges and makes it look like his mouth is just. Okay. Anti-flag. Okay. Although I kind of like how this is, you know, it is taking up quite a bit of space, but I still think it probably works. I'm not too sure about the spacing here, the letter spacing, but it says a follow, a white follow. Yeah, this isn't too bad. I think there's a little bit too much emphasis in weight and size and scale on these two icons as opposed to the type here, like the track title and the duration. We should probably shift or just make that opposite. Make these a little bit larger and then scale these down just a tad bit more. But that's a nitpicky thing. This is pretty solid otherwise. We have other things happening here. Can't, unfortunately, because of Figma's little editor, they have this thing up here, which sometimes is easy to forget. But yeah, pretty solid otherwise. Yeah, cool stuff. I think we'll save this, this one. So this will be the fourth one. All right. Next up. Let me close those ones out. What is happening here? These are all artboards. Oh man, I know there has to be a better way than doing what he just did. Look at that. That's a lot of work there. Let's hit play. All right, so now what happened here is we click this, and the background color changes to black. I think that's all black. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. So look, we have this is simple enough up here. It's real simple. So if we click on this, it just highlights and it brings that up. I would say the play icons is a tad bit large. Takes up a lot more unnecessary space, being, you know, maximum contrast with the white. Again, I think we have that same issue that we did last time, where it's just like there's an unnecessary amount of emphasis put in the wrong place, which is the play button, as opposed to maybe evening them out. Because right now, the area where your eye wants to see the most is this big play button, and not really the track title itself. But that's pretty nitpicky, honestly. But yeah, thank you for the submission. It's pretty solid in terms of design fundamentals, though. Definitely. Awesome stuff. Okay, continue. Look at all those. This guy's a madman. Look at that. What is happening here? Oh, man. That's crazy. Dave. Oh, you're a guitar player, too. Awesome. All right. Check out my new app, frettastic.com. All right. Continuing on. Here's one. That's Franklin Richards. Let's do this. All right, this is a more unique approach. Okay, this is strange to me because they're all styled differently, it looks like. Maybe. Let me go back. All right, this one's pretty good. This view, although I'm not sure about that. Kind of seeing him behind there. The play button, I would probably change that, but just because people are already familiar with the pattern of the triangle being the play button, so you can get rid of that because it looks a little bit cheap. So I would remove that and just put more of like a solid filled-in circular play button. Looking at this stuff down here, not too bad. Pretty solid here. If I hit play, what happens? All right, so we have this huge icons. Price scale is down a bit. I know you're trying to make it easier for people to use, but still, like, there's way too much emphasis placed on these buttons as even opposed to the name. Like, this is the first thing I'm seeing out of the gate. But yeah, pretty solid otherwise. Looking at this, yeah, I guess they are the same type of layout, but yeah, pretty solid. Continuing on, Franklin. Let's who's up next? If I'm able to get through all these in an hour, I'm going to be surprised. So many links. I'm reading the eye. What is happening? Oh, there we go. Click. All right. The January 17th, 2020, that's just kind of laid there, looks a little bit random. It's just kind of hanging out there. I would definitely kind of structure that a little bit better. These areas right here, I would flip that so that the track length is not the first thing you see at the top. It would be beneath the actual artist or the track name. But yeah, pretty solid otherwise. Breaking Benjamin, that's a band I haven't heard in a while. All right, good stuff. Continuing on. That was Katie. Thank you for the submission. I haven't been using Twitter, but still really enjoy this challenge. Let's check it out. 2 female UI UXers in a row. That's strange. You don't see that often. All right. It's good, though. Next up. Play. Or why do I keep on saying play? I'm not clicking play. I'm trying to access more information. All right, so looking at this, there was an animation here. Let's click this again. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Probably want to speed up just a tad. Well, just maybe a hair more. Looking at this, little interesting the way that this is laid out. We have a share, and then we have a like, or yeah, like a love button. I'm not sure what I feel about this. It's throwing me off a bit. I think it's throwing me off because the title is like, the thumbnail is put right up here against the very top of the edge of the device, and I think I don't like that. Down here, real small. You're working real small, so you have to remember people have their pudgy fingers. You know, that might be a little bit hard to use when they're so condensed like that. So you might want to spread things out a little bit more. And it's also probably unnecessary to have the artist title there. Just the track title would be better. That way it simplifies this section more because we know who it is, for the most part at least. If they wanted to click on this, for instance, to access, like if there was collabs or whatever, then you can show that on another page, I would think. Other than that, pretty solid. Again, just an issue, a little bit too small in scale. Next up is this one. Okay. Am I going to do more design contests? I don't know. This is a lot of work. My throat's like killing me. We're at 50 minutes already. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't thought about it, honestly. Let's hit play. This one looks like it might be an interesting one. Here we go. Click. All right, so we have a circular play button type of thing. One issue that I have here, I think, is in this section, it's getting a little bit cluttered. There's a lot happening there with not much separation using subtle containers. Like this is a container down here. I think just there's a tad bit too much happening right here. Overall, I like the layout, and I think it has a lot of potential. Hit play. All right, it just does that. Oh, okay, so nice little animations between these two. This here, okay, so this here is probably like the currently playing track because he has like a little little graph icon for the sound waves, but it's not emphasized quite a bit enough. What would be better is just probably to make this whole background this vibrant color and then just invert the text to make sure it's dark so that there's enough contrast. Because right now, because of all these other titles being the same color, it's not enough of an indication. Cool pull-out drawer. All right, good stuff. Thanks for that. Next up, so that was Raman or Raman. All right, modify the original a bit. I'm not sure. Okay, well, that's no problem. I don't really care if people modify it too much from the original. Let's hit play. Looks like we have a light and dark mode. Or can I click? Why is it not giving me a click indicator? What's happening? Oh no. Well, I guess I can't use the prototype version, so I'm just gonna look at these statically. All right, so I like the color, but here's the thing. The containers, like there's a container right here and you can barely tell that they're different from each other. I think there needs to be just a tad bit more contrast on those button containers so that you can really see that they are containers. I like how you're using the background here. I like that. This section's pretty solid. Again, I wish we could have just seen these buttons a little bit more sticking out. I like the design though; it is pretty solid. I really like the bottom tap bar. That works really well. Again, I wish this was a playable prototype, but I just don't think it is. And it's not. Unless he's watching now. See, because like, why do we have a white version here? Am I screwing something up? Does this work like Adobe like XD where you select a specific artboard and then that's the home version? Yeah, see, unfortunately, I'll just do this instead. So this must be like a light version. Pretty solid. Probably a little bit too much white space on the right and left. We can extend that out just a tad bit. But yeah, this is solid. Very, very solid. Unfortunately, it's not like a playable prototype I can interact with. All right. Very nice. Probably one of the best like design ones so far. Here's what I did. Let's check this one out. We're going to hit play, open with Figma. All right. The home label is unnecessary in my opinion. Just probably hit back. Although I guess it's not a big deal. The white button kind of gets lost here in the middle, especially with this type of album, which is already like kind of a lighter picture. Wild West being orange, that's not part of the color scheme, so it kind of throws off the flow of the rest of the design when you click on this and you see orange right here. It's a little bit jolting a bit. Looking at this is simple enough down here. Hit play, designates that as the current. Okay, that's cool. All right, good stuff. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Simple but solid. Next up, we're almost getting there to the end, to the latest entries. We got some gradients, people. We got some gradients, and I can't use it. All right, well, whatever. I'll just right arrow it. All right, so definitely discard these hardcore gradients right here. It definitely feels old. I mean, this is an older style, early 2000s. Definitely want to fix that. Too much white space on the right and left. The play button, pretty boring. Just use the triangle. Everybody knows what the triangle is. So yeah, I would definitely fix that up. This just seems squashed down here. So yeah, definitely watch my my Scrimba course coming up. There's a free one that's up there already, scrimba.com, but the full one's coming up in like a week and a half. Thank you for the submission. Let's continue on. We're gonna go back. All right. Next up. (2004). All right. Keep at it though, man. David, you will do well. You just got to keep at it. All right. Issue with hierarchy separating between these three elements. We have the name, the album name, and then the date. The album name and the date are styled exactly the same. You don't want to do that. It's different pieces of type-based content need to be separated out visually somehow, so you can establish that visual hierarchy between them. Somewhere, okay, a like button down here, play all, pretty simple. It's simple. Looking at this, there's nothing that's like really 100% wrong about it. But yeah, simple enough. All right, pretty solid submission. Not the greatest, but not the worst. Continuing on. Only one per person. I assume maybe he just accidentally. This is a dribble shot. And that's a 404. Okay. Here's, oh my God, look at all the, look at all these. We got another person with 1 million artboards. Let's check this out. Whoa, what is happening? I thought this was something like X-rated down here. I don't think it is though, fortunately. All right, let's hit play and just see what happens. All right, we got the original design, so that's good. Let's do the menu. Probably want to pull that down a little bit more. All right, PITCH. So I guess if you want to get a full image, I wouldn't do that because the image is already big, so having them click it just to view it the same size doesn't really make sense to me. Let's click on one of these. That's a cool animation, the fact that he did that. I'm not too sure about having the gradient stroke on there, but nonetheless, it's the first entry that actually animated one of these. He probably has so many artboards because he did each one of these like that. But yeah, pretty solid otherwise. One thing, there's no back button to get back to the other page. We can go there though. Does he have like a library? Does he have a settings? Oh no, okay. All right, pretty solid, pretty solid. Next up, look at all those. A lot of work went into these. I appreciate it. Brandon, all right. We're almost getting to the end. All right, 302 people watching. Watching me spiel. Okay. Here's the original. Click it. More animations. Let's check that out again. All right. Probably speed that up a little bit more. Looking at this, not enough white space, I would say, between the album here in this section. We have a love button. Hit the play button. That's interesting. What just happened? Let's watch that again. Click it. Click play. I would probably not do the outer glow. You have a glow on the 1, 2, and 3. Probably wouldn't do that. But yeah, this is simple. I kind of like how you did the play here. I'm not sure about doing the animation between the two. That might be even difficult to recreate, like in a real environment. But yeah, it's simple enough. Good stuff. Next up. We're going to hit play. And we're going to clicky. All right, simple animation. I'm not sure what this button would do. Oh, it's a play button. It didn't look like a play button, no. Hit pause. That's a cool transition that you have there, and a little animation. I like how these are designed for the most part. Not sure about having a red on black here. Probably would have used the primary color just to signify one is like a favorite. But yeah, other than that, pretty solid. I like the layout of these tracks. Probably move these down, center them inside of this middle area a little bit more. Good stuff. Here's one from 4 hours ago. Bogdan. We're almost done. Oh, well, we're at an hour too. I'm just gonna run over just a tad bit. Hit play. Moneybag Yo. Okay, so I'm not sure about, again, this is one of those other entries that had alternating backgrounds, even though it's very subtle. Not enough white space between like where it says about and follow in this section. Line height here needs to be extended. Can make this a little bit more easy to read because it's a big block of text. So I would definitely change that up. Thank you for the submission though. Good stuff. All right, next up. The video is going to be uploaded by YouTube automatically, so you'll be able to check it out later. All right, cool colors. I see you changed up the color scheme a little bit, which I'm fine with. That's not a big deal. We have like a play here. Probably want to separate the color for this a little bit more, just because it kind of blends just, you know, against this not enough. It doesn't contrast enough, rather. Clicking on this. This is pretty nice, though. Good stuff. All right, next up. All right, looks like he double posted or something. URL shortener. What is happening? I don't know why it's going there. Well, we'll just expand this one. All right. Real large. I'll probably separate those out a little bit more, scale them down just a tad bit. Clicking on this. All right, this one's pretty cool. You can like actually, this is the first one where you could cycle through different artists, I guess. Looking at this, these are all simple enough. Yeah, this is pretty solid. I don't have anything too negative to say about this one. Good stuff. Miguel. What is happening? I'm hitting back and it's going back through the thing. Okay. Let's see here. We're just about done. All right, 43 minutes ago at the start of this. All right, I'll do yours, man, even though you're extremely late to submit. All right, checking this one out. Yeah, so the gradient here and the drop shadow. Again, I think, wait, I already did this one. Never mind, I already reviewed yours. What are you doing? All right. Okay, so that was it. All right, that was really lengthy. My God. All right, so for those of you who actually submitted, hopefully I reviewed yours and didn't skip it by accident. Yeah, some very solid ones. We had a list here. It's already late. I'm not going to go through these ones, but the ones that I put here, I did 4 different statuses. And these guys I thought all had probably one of the best examples of the designs. Maybe I will go through them real quick. Let me paste this Twitter status in. So here's the first one that I saved that I thought was pretty solid. So this is pretty solid. The big white play button though kills it for me. But otherwise, other than that, pretty solid. Probably not the best of the 4 though. Let's try another one here. Play. So this one was pretty solid here. Probably need a little bit more separation between this content and the actual track listings. But this one wasn't bad. Pretty solid though. And who was the third one? I'm going to try to choose like a best out of those ones, those four. This one's pretty solid. I like that it scrolls down, keeps this into view. Don't have too much of a problem right here. Pretty big play button, but that's okay, I guess. Probably scale it down just a tad bit more. Nice animation. This is solid. So it's going to come down between this one and the last one that I saved. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, finally, come on, let's go. And we'll hit play. This is pretty nice. Yeah, so it comes down between this one and where's the other one? And this one. So what do you guys think? I'll make this interactive. Who do you think should win between these two entries? Should it be, we'll call this one Design 1. Should it be this one? Or should it be this one, Design 2? Let me know what you guys think. This is 1. And then this is 2. Looks like people are split right now. Here's 1. And then here is 2. All right, creator, don't do that. No spamming. You're in timeout, bro. So we have 1 1 2 2 2 1 2 1 2 2 1 design 1 1, both of them 2. Yeah, it's hard to really pick one specifically. I have to pick one though. I'm gonna have to say, I'm looking at it one more time. I'm gonna have to say 2. Yeah. It's 1, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say it's 2. I like things are spread out a little bit more, and just more white space in general. I think the date probably could be improved there. It looks way too small. But right here there's a lot of information. So I think that's the reason. They're both really good though. So thank everybody who submitted a actual entry. Let me see who was up work. There we go. We'll definitely do probably a regular design tutorial, live UI design review. But as always, I need to mention the sponsor just one more time at the end. So if you guys are designers and need a domain, check out and get your free .design domain name. Big companies like Facebook, Airbnb are already using it. And unlike .com or .net, design's more relevant and resonates with your audience more. I mean, that simply makes sense to me. And there's hardly any .coms left anyways. And plus, it comes with the domain's free. It comes with a free email hosting, SSL security, a free site builder, and free Whois privacy, which is awesome. So I'll see you guys next week with more videos, and then next Friday we're going to do this again for another live UI UX review, probably just a normal one, not a contest-based one. And I'll see you guys real soon. All right, goodbye.